Welcome to the channel, everybody. I want to start this out by saying congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines for their hard-fought and well-deserved Rose Bowl victory over Alabama. That was a crazy game to watch, and on account of that, I have about, well, let's say, at least 8 videos that are ready to record right now, breaking down the different plays. So this isn't a trash talk series or like a rah-rah, like rooting for a team. This is really just about like seeing what happened and why it happened, and why that's so cool. So the first thing we're going to focus on, the first video of this series, is Alabama's pass protection issues and what Michigan did to actually cause some of those things, and where Alabama just kind of failed. And this was probably one of the most defining characteristics of the game, and I feel like people just they've kind of talked about it, but no one's really broken it down, and I just want to get into that a little bit more. So let's hop right into like these plays. So the first one is like the first snap of Alabama's first possession, 13 minutes and 56 seconds left in the first quarter. It is 1st and 10. Alabama is running 11 personnel, which is one running back who is set to the right of Jalen Milroe, and you have one tight end who's at H-back, kind of right behind the left tackle, and you got 3 wide receivers on the field. So you got Jermaine Burton at the bottom, you have Kendrick Law running in motion behind the line of scrimmage. Michigan has 4 people on the line of scrimmage, 3 down linemen who are down with both hands in the dirt, 1 guy standing, but they're going to bring 5 people, including number 17, and you're gonna see what happens on this play. So as you're watching it, you see that zero, the safety kind of comes up, he blitzes as well, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. So Alabama's thinking, man, we can block, 6 on 5, and you would think, yeah, we have the numbers advantage. That didn't work. So Alabama got beat just flat out inside here. So you have number 17, who's basically at that right end position. He's against the Alabama freshman left tackle, Caden Proctor, number 74. And honestly, this is just flat out just beat. Like, there's nothing Caden Proctor can do to defend himself. Like, he barely got hands on him, barely touched him. The guy got his hands so thin. Caden Proctor's inside of his shoulder pads, kind of gave him a push, was able to go around him. So he kind of basically, he jabbed him and moved him and got right at Jalen Milroe. And if you notice, the running back was blocking, so he was in pass protection. There was no short dump off. There was nowhere to get rid of the ball. Number 17 comes in very easily and quickly for the sack. And so what you'll notice throughout all these plays that I'm going to show you is that Jalen Milroe barely had 2 to 3 seconds, which, in the modern college game with like some of the quicker passing concepts, you might be like, okay, yeah, like throw a quick slant or swing route. I'm going to argue, and you're going to see it. I think most of you see it, with the exception of maybe one play, but that actually won't be in this video. That'll be in another one. 1 or 2 where he actually didn't have any checkdowns or short routes to get rid of the ball. I know some were saying that he didn't get rid of the ball on some of those quicker plays. On the majority of the sacks and pressures, there were no free or open releases, and Alabama kept calling some vertical pass concepts, even though Michigan showed that they could just flat out beat the Alabama offensive line. And Caden Proctor had a really bad day, which was very unfortunate. So with that said, let's go to the next play, which is a little bit later. Michigan's going to send 5 again. So this was their overall strategy. They kind of overwhelmed the Alabama offensive line by sending 5 people, sometimes including a spy, sometimes not, or 5 and a spy. This is 3rd and 12. So they kept getting Alabama some 3rd and longs. Still the first quarter is 12 minutes and 42 seconds left in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 12. Alabama, they have 4 people wide here, and so this is obviously, they're trying to convert this 3rd and 12. They're trying to get a long pass play. They got the running back set to the right of Jalen Milroe. Michigan has all 5 guys on the line of scrimmage already, so they're already showing, we're going to blitz, they're going to pressure. So I think they wanted to show Jalen that we are coming after you. But Alabama, if you notice, watch all the receivers. Watch all the receivers on this play. Michigan has 6 people back. Nobody's running short routes. Nobody's still on the screen. Now, obviously, I would have loved to see the all 22 of this, but even if that's the case, they're all running routes that are more than, and obviously it's 3rd and 12, so you want to get past the first down marker. But if you notice, before they even finish vacating the screen real estate, what you're seeing on the screen, Jalen Milroe's already pressured. Those 5 guys are beating Alabama 6. So Alabama literally could not beat Michigan's pressure. Like, they could not. And they actually, so what happens on this play is that Michigan had brought 5 and they had the spy. You can see that the spy is number 23, I believe. Yeah, number 23 comes up from that linebacker or safety position, whatever he's playing there. He's spying Jalen Milroe, but the 5 guys beat Alabama's 6, because I'm saying 6 because they have Rodale Williams pass protecting. Number 28, I believe, that's number 25. He comes in the backfield immediately. He gets blocked by Rodale Williams, and Rodale has to catch him again. Actually, like I said, let's look at everyone who's on the field. The right tackle won his matchup. The center and the right guard did a pretty solid job. But what happens is on the left side of the Alabama line of scrimmage, you're gonna have the Michigan defensive tackles do like a stunt and twist, as well as number 25 coming in on the blitz. So the defensive tackle on closest to the left side of the Alabama's line of scrimmage, he kind of comes down on the center and the guard. And then the defensive tackle who was closer to the right side of Alabama's offensive line, he comes around on the twist. So he comes around that play, and he's coming into that open hole. It's not picked up. Because Caden Proctor, now you come back to the left side, so we mentioned Caden Proctor in the last play. Caden Proctor also is getting beat by number 17 again. So 17 has the matchup advantage early on, proving that, like, okay, so I can beat the Alabama left tackle. So Alabama left tackle has his hand full. Now that B gap between the left guard and the left tackle is wide open, so the rush is coming through. Number 25 and the defensive tackle are there to make some noise on Alabama. And that's number 5. I don't know if he's like defensive tackle or linebacker, really. I'm calling him the other defensive tackle. He was standing up. Either way, they this pressure package, they really wanted to get a lot of movement and just kind of like stunts on the Alabama offensive line, because they figured, for whatever reason, they saw on tape that Alabama's offensive line couldn't handle those type of things, and that pressure was getting there immediately. Like I said, they overwhelmed the Alabama offensive line. They took advantage of the weakness, which was the left tackle. The running back, actually, I got to give Alabama's running back, Rodale Williams, a lot of credit here. He picked up number 25 twice on this play. So it was literally 2 pass protection that he got off and did really well to get here. So, but that doesn't mean anything when your quarterback doesn't have time. Like I said, before the receivers really even got out of the screen, Milroe was already having to step up and move out to the left. So sacked. Number 5 got the sack on Jalen Milroe. Not enough time on 3rd and 12. So Alabama, based on this early game here, Alabama should have known we're not going to be able to get behind the sticks and play the 3rd and long game against Michigan, because they were not going to sit and wait for Jalen. They decided to go after him instead, and they had the personnel to win that matchup. Some teams tried to go after Jalen or like come up and do 5 on line scrimmage and maybe have 2 of those guys spy, like Georgia did that. It didn't work because they weren't as aggressive in coming after him, and they weren't able to generate pressure. Michigan is able to generate pressure. And their secondary is also very good. They have the receivers covered, but they're also just not giving Alabama's receivers time to adjust to Jalen Milroe, giving them time to run around. So let's go on to the next play, and it just does not get better for Caden Proctor, because this is the first quarter still, 3 minutes and 41 seconds left. And in that situation, look, this is a 3rd and 11. Look at how many Michigan defenders are up on the line of scrimmage. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 of them are standing, 2 of them are down, 2 hands in the dirt. Alabama does have a tight end next to Caden Proctor, at least at the start of the play. So this is 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. So 11 personnel for Alabama cannot hold up against the blitz, against the pressure from Michigan. So you got the 2 receivers stacked at the bottom. They won't come into play here because what's going to happen, as you see, Caden Proctor is once again beat on a twist, and Jalen Milroe is kind of forced up in the pocket and scramble. But on this play, he actually slips. So the commentators were saying that Jalen Milroe slid. He slipped on this play. He wasn't trying to hide or shy away from pressure. Anybody who's watched Jalen Milroe all year knows that actually I wanted him to slide a little bit more, but he actually kind of takes hits because he's a big guy, 6'2", 225. But on this play, Michigan is going to run another stunt with those 2 guys in the middle. The play before, I was saying number 5 was a tackle. He wasn't a tackle. I think he was a linebacker. But either way, he was the one twisting. This time they actually do have a defensive tackle twisting. So they have one guy, number 7'8", coming down, and they have number 55 coming around on the twist. But on that, so Alabama, like I said, they have, look how many people are blocking for Alabama. So the tight end obviously blocks and releases, and this is one of those plays where someone may say, okay, we have a tight end leaking out. The problem is the tight end doesn't turn around. He does not turn around until Jalen Milroe is already having to run. Now maybe Jalen Milroe can pop up at this point and just kind of flick the ball to him, but he's already scrambling. So, and he could have gotten this, but he slipped. But there's no way he can get rid of this ball if he's already running. It'd been different if the tight end immediately turned around, like on this slip out of the backfield, but the tight end did like one of those block and release things. So like a block and release is when you kind of put your hands on someone at the line of scrimmage and then you run out, turn around for a quick pass. He took a little bit longer. It was kind of lackadaisical. He kind of did like he waited behind to help Caden Proctor. He kind of pushed. They didn't really get 17 that much. He kind of gave him a little push and then moved out. But he kind of moved out slowly as if he didn't know where he wanted to settle down against the Michigan pass defense. And by the time he turned around, Jalen Milroe already had to run. Now, you also have Roydell Williams going around the right side. Now, this is more of a more likely thing. Someone could say, okay, he could have dumped this off to Roydell Williams. True. This would have been a better option. It's 3rd and 11. I don't know if he would have converted it, but that could have been network too. All that to say, actually, on this play, he didn't make a wrong choice. That scramble could have worked. Maybe Roydell Williams could have been the person that he dumped it off to. But I will argue, just once again, this pressure got in here pretty fast. Now, out of all the ones that I've shown you so far, he had the most amount of time to maybe react and go ahead and throw this out to Roydell. But he kind of looked out to the left as Roydell was leaking out, and by the time he was getting ready to come back around, he was running away from number 55. So I won't blame him too much, especially being a first-year starter. Like, you can let me know, like if you think if you're going to be a little bit more harder on him, say that, no, you just got to get that out. Because he could have. Like I say, if he had cut back to Roydell Williams, he probably could have gotten that out. But with this pressure, like I said, his right tackle is doing a fairly good job, although he's getting pushed up the field. The left tackle is just letting guys run through. The stunt is just like letting people in. Left tackle letting number 17. So they kind of did like a double stunt thing here, really. So they have number 78 and 17 both crash down inside. That should have told Caden Proctor, let me kick out to the left, kick out to the outside, because that's when number 55 is twisting. Caden Proctor shouldn't have let 55 come that far up the field, especially since your left guard and your center are picking up the stunts in the middle. So it's a few things that broke down at the same time. The pass protection didn't do exactly what it was supposed to. Jalen probably could have hurried up and flicked it out to Roydell Williams, and also he slipped on the scramble. Like I said, he didn't slide, he slipped, and I think if he didn't slide, he actually could have gotten the first down here if he just ran straight ahead. But that's that play. The pressure, once again, 3rd and 11, it's 3rd and long. Alabama learned in the second half, and you'll see that in my video coming a little bit later in the series. But in this first half, they kept calling vertical pass concepts with not that many like leaks or like fast passes out of the backfield. And that kind of wrecked Alabama a little bit. So we're going to go to the next one. Michigan's going to get a free rusher here, but this is the second quarter, 14 minutes and 11 seconds left. This is 1st and 10 now. Alabama has decided to switch to 12 personnel, which is running back, which is set to the right of Jalen Milroe. The running back is Jace McClellan, and got the 2 tight ends. You have Dupree on the right side of the right tackle, and you have Oots, number 45, who's the H-back behind Dupree. So there's 2 tight ends, and you got 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen. Michigan, once again, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the line of scrimmage, and they have one guy creeping up, one of the 20s. They have too many people with 20 in their on their jersey, 23, 25. You just never know who it is. So as this ball is being snapped, you see that person come up, and you have one of the guys on the line of scrimmage actually drop back. So they did a little delay, a little trick here. They made it seem like, oh, we're going to bring all the 5 guys who are already standing on the line of scrimmage. But in reality, they were bringing one of the linebackers who was blitzing, who's going to come through the B gap here. So one of the linebackers comes out into the flats to guard those tight ends, and the running back coming out of the backfield. And this is one of those plays where, yeah, like there was a guy releasing, but there was no time. If he throws this ball, like, let's say maybe he throws it early, right? If he throws it early, Jace McClellan might catch it, might get 2 or 3 yards. Because by the time he catches that ball, the guy who dropped back into the flat, and this is why I'm kind of giving it a little bit more nuance. Because someone can say, yeah, sure, he still could have got rid of the ball. True. I'm not gonna deny that he could have gotten rid of the ball here. but look at how fast that linebacker came through the B gap. Like within like 2 seconds, just like there's nothing there. Like Jalen Milroe, these are vertical pass concepts that are called for going down the field. Like his two receivers aren't running short routes. The tight end, which one was that? Was it Dupree? Dupree's running like a little crossing route across the field. By the time Dupree actually gets within 2 steps of starting that crossing route, the linebacker is already tackling Jalen Milroe. The linebacker's already on him. He has to get a hand out to push him off. And this is around the same time when Jace McClellan is starting to turn around. And this is why I say this is not enough time. Like, sure, he could have, if in order to complete that dump off pass to Jace McClellan, Jalen Milroe would have to throw this ball before Jace McClellan was like well before he turned around. I know a lot of people say, yeah, you throw it before they're ready. He would have to throw this like well before Jace McClellan was ready. And so I guess you could have said if he did that, at worst, it would have been an incompletion. True, right? But I think we say that very easily as if we're the ones who are on the field. Like that pressure got in extremely fast. Like Michigan's getting it up well. Everybody else on this play, sure, they're blocking that guy one-on-one, but they let a free rusher come through. Michigan sent 5. There's only 4 people. Michigan, they sent 5, and Alabama has 5 blockers, but someone left the B gap open. So this is either on the left tackle or the left guard. And so when you watch this play, let's go back and look at it. You see the left guard came down to help with the center. And I think so this is a mistake on this has got it. Well, it's hard to say because Caden Proctor made the mistake the first 2 or 3 times. So either Caden Proctor was supposed to stay down, right? Stay inside and kind of help internally and let the outside rusher go around so that Jalen can step up in the pocket and maybe scramble. Or the left guard, which I'm leaning this way on this play, actually. I think the left guard just completely missed his guy coming through. I think he didn't pick up the fact that the linebacker was coming up. And so instead of helping the center, the left guard should have picked up the blitzer. And he didn't. And so if you have a free rusher blitzer, if the left guard just clipped that linebacker, Jalen Milroe would have had a little bit more time to throw that ball to Dupree or to Jace McClellan. It was like, I'm just going to keep looking at this. I'm just making sure. By the time Jace McClellan even gets past the line of scrimmage, right, or he gets up to the line of scrimmage and starts to turn his head, the linebacker is already on Jalen Milroe. Number 23 is already on Jalen Milroe getting the sack. So the only way Jalen could have hit that check down would be if he had threw this ball like before Jace McClellan even got back to the line of scrimmage. Jalen Milroe would have to throw this ball as soon as it was snapped. Like, snapped, throw the ball. And Jason McClellan wouldn't have caught that. And sure, like I said, that probably would have been a net better situation. Like where it would have been 2nd and 10 instead of the sack down with a longer second down. But I think you probably can't even please fans because I'm pretty sure if that pass didn't get off, right? And it was incomplete. People say, "Oh, like who is he throwing it to?" It's inaccurate. So I'm trying to combat some of the narratives, that are coming out about this. I think the quarterbacks get too much credit and too much blame for plays, and I think Jalen Milroe is definitely a victim of that. Being a quarterback at Alabama, somehow people think anything that goes wrong in the offense is the quarterback's fault. This is just a flat out miss. Like, you have checkdowns, but the checkdown is also assuming that the rest of the play worked out, that the blocking worked out, and that those things are doing well. That did not happen here at all. And I think that's one thing that you have to account for. Literally, they let a guy run free, and they were on Jalen Milroe before his guys even got a chance to get into that route. That's really bad pass protection from Alabama. And like I said, they learned from this in the second half, but not this time. And so we're going to go to the next play. We got 2 more, actually, funny enough. So this is kind of painful to watch probably for Alabama fans, but you got to see what happened, experience what happened to understand what's going on here. This is still the second quarter, 13 minutes and 31 seconds left. The next play, so 2nd and 18, they lost 8 yards on that play. Alabama is once again in Is this even 11? Yeah, no, this is 11, but I think the running back is set to the far top of the screen. So it's 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. Tight end is also set out wide like a wide receiver. So Alabama's trying to spread Michigan out now. So even though Michigan is spread out. Look at all those people they have near the line of scrimmage. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. Number 5, that linebacker who got the sack earlier, he is sitting on the left side of the defense, which is on the right side of the offensive line, and they have DB kind of right behind him, and they have the linebacker, either number 20, I think it's 25 this time, right in between the defensive linemen on the right side of the defense. And so what we're getting at on this play is that they send another blitz and they also do another stunt and twist. So they do this while Alabama is 5 wide, which is crazy. And the only thing here, is that they have 4 deep progressing routes. Everybody except the running back, Jace McClellan, at the top of the screen. So I want you to look at that really quick, because I know some people are going to point that out, which fine, you can absolutely do that. Top of the screen, Jace McClellan is like basically a decoy, kind of check down. Look at the Michigan defender already waiting on that pass. That's a long throw to that side of the field. If he throws that pass, at best, Jace McClellan catches that, gets tackled at the line of scrimmage. At worst, the ball takes a little bit long to get there. That DB jumps it, and it's an interception return for a touchdown. I personally wouldn't take that risk on that throw. And he's also looking for his guys out here. Especially, I think the read probably is the quick read is the tight end out route, which, funny enough, looks like it's a little bit of space. The Michigan DB is like, the Michigan secondary is open. I mean, they're really defending this well. They're on top of the tight end. You probably could throw this ball, get this if you throw it high and tight toward the sideline, I mean. But look at the pressure once again, because I'm just analyzing the plays. You see the 2 receivers also at the top of the screen. They're running routes going toward the middle of the field, toward the first down marker, or at least in the middle of the field. There's no time to throw that ball either. Number 25 is already on Jalen Milroe. So you got Isaiah Bond and the tight end Dupree at the bottom of the screen. Dupree's running the out route. Bond's running something further up the field. The 2 receivers at the top of the screen are running up the field. And the running back, Jason McClellan, is a check down that's being very well guarded, I would posit, like that. That's not a viable throw in this situation. You can disagree with me on that. So basically, 5 guys are now trying to block 5 Michigan guys. In theory, you're going to pick this up perfectly, and you're going to give your quarterback time to at least maybe take a shot on one of those receivers who are going up the middle of the field, or at the very least, hurry up and throw this out route to Dupree to get a more manageable 3rd down. But look at what happens to the offensive line, which you've probably seen a million times now that I've talked about everything else. Number 94 of Michigan defensive line is twisting around the stunt from the defensive tackle, number 99. So Michigan kind of rotated some guys. They got some healthier bodies in. So they got 99 pushing down on the center and the right guard, and 94 is coming around on the twist. So he even helps out on this sack here. But then at the same time, look at number 5, the linebacker on Alabama's right tackle. Number 5 in the Michigan linebacker does the pass rush, does a bull rush really, kind of pushes the right tackle into Jalen Milroe so he can't escape to the right. So Jalen Milroe can't escape to the right here. The only thing he can do is step up in the pocket or move out to the left. But then at the same time as that, look at the left tackle, number 74, the true freshman, Caden Proctor, getting beat on a rush up the field by number 8. The good news is that Caden Proctor this time, now even though like he kind of lost the speed battle here, he does push number 8 kind of around up the field. So Jalen at this point should be stepping up, and he would be doing so. I think he probably could have stepped up sooner, so that's where his mistake was here. Could have stepped up just a fraction of a second sooner. But look at what the linebacker's doing here. Linebacker and number 94, 25 and 94 kind of pushed through their blocks because the middle of the offensive line got pushed back. The center got blown up. Look at them, and that's what I was saving for last, just because people were like, well, this pocket seems like it's kind of intact. It's not. The center got literally pushed back and fell to his feet. I don't know if you saw that. The Alabama center, number 56, is on his back as Jalen Milroe is getting sacked here. Number 25 and 94 just really beat the center and the left guard here. And Jalen Milroe's pocket collapsed. They collapsed the pocket on Jalen Milroe. So even if he steps up here, he's stepping up into a collapsing pocket. And maybe if you are, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, and you're about to do some weird sidearm flip that will get the ball down the field and zips into a receiver's hand, I don't know if you can reasonably expect your quarterback to stay on top of everything that's going on up the field when literally the whole offensive line, they collapsed this pocket on Jalen Milroe. And this was bad pass protection, crazy enough. And like I said, that twist and the blitz really gave Alabama fits. Like, Michigan is doing something that intentionally exposes the B gap for Alabama and gets a free rusher in to get to Jalen Miro. And now we're gonna go to the last play. We're gonna go to the last play. And I was picking on the left side of the offensive line the whole time. This last play of the first half regarding the pass protection is on the right side of Alabama's offensive line. So this is the right tackle and the right guard. Jalen Miro is going to get sacked here, and they're going to get overwhelmed by 3 rushers. So this is once again, or I shouldn't say once again. I think this. I think the receiver at the top of the screen is the tight end. So I think this might be 11 personnel still, one running back, 1 tight end. But either way, you have the running back kind of motioning out to the right of Jalen Miro, and you got 5 offensive linemen, 29 seconds left in the second half. In the second quarter, 3rd and 3 here. Look at this weird formation by Michigan on defense. They kind of have one guy, number 5, I think, is on that far side where the left tackle is with Caden Proctor. They have number 8 and 2 defensive linemen really close to each other. So apparently they're planning to do something onto the right side of the Alabama offensive line. And they have 0. Sands, I don't know how to say his last name. I'm just going to call him Sands. So you have Sands, number 0, DB, also on this side. So you have 4 Michigan defenders looking at the right side of the Alabama offensive line, the right tackle and the right guard, and you have the running back motioning out, so there will not be a running back to pass protect in this situation. That is Roydell Williams. So on this play, you have Roydell kind of running out on a swing and this will be the hot read here. So this is where you would get the hot at. This is one of those places where I think Jalen probably could have hurried up and threw this out there, and unfortunately he didn't, because that pressure did came pretty fast. But this is where that was the play where you want to just hurry up and throw it hot. He did not throw it hot in this situation because he's probably looking to go upfield or like get this first down. And it's like, you've been sacked 5 times already. Your pass protection has not been great. Like, we can give you like the passes on the pressure coming in too fast. Your receivers aren't ready. In this situation, you already know that your pass protection has not been held up. You have 4 Michigan guys overwhelming the right side of the line of scrimmage. There is a free rusher coming through. Like, I don't have to explain. You guys see it on this play. Number 0, the safety, he does come in like free rushing basically. The right tackle's overwhelmed. The right guard is overwhelmed. It's happening, but you know that Roydell Williams is motioning out into a swing route. This is where Jalen has to defeat this pass rush by hurry up and throwing that swing route. And he didn't do so. And that's where we mess up in this situation. So Alabama had to learn from this. In the second half, they made adjustments, and they did work, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I just wanted to show you just how much this offensive line battle really impacted this first half. Like, it was a struggle for Alabama because of how Michigan schemed this up and how Alabama didn't really adjust that well until basically the end of the second half, and then going into the end of the second quarter and going into the second half. But this was a wild matchup. Just seeing what Michigan did here, the gutsiness, like I can appreciate how they decided to call this defensive game plan against Jalen Miro. They obviously knew they could take advantage of the Alabama offensive line. I don't even know if they knew it would work this well, but it did. And Alabama, for some reason, didn't do enough quick passing plays to adjust for it. Like I said, this last play was an example of one where they could have gotten the ball out to Roydell Williams, so that was on Jalen. But yeah, it's something else to see what happened in the game. So let me know what you thought about this Alabama pass protection issues and how Michigan exploded it and like the scheme behind all of it. I had a lot of fun watching these and seeing what was going on, and not to mention that I didn't even get into the details of like the Michigan secondary was also just covering the Alabama receivers and the tight ends very well. Also, like, there wasn't a lot of people open. Michigan's secondary is very good. That's why I made a video about them before the games even started. And yeah, the next video will be coming up soon, but let me know what you think about this one. Put it in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.